Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I want to start or kind of continue a small series about cadet rifles. One of them you saw already. This is this Polish Weser 48, so the WZ-48, where I had some problems finding the right ammunition. And in today's video we will talk about this 30 M1 carbine clone. It's called ERMA M1. And at first I will tell you a little bit about the company which produces this. So ERMA means Erfurter Maschinenfabrik. Erfurt is a town in Thuringia, former Eastern Germany. It's actually now the capital of the new formed state of Thuringia. And it was founded in 1922 by Bernhard Geipel. And during World War II we produced machine pistol parts, and also the assault rifle 44, so the Sturmgewehr 44, was produced in Erfurt. In February 1945 the Royal Air Force dropped about 100 tons of bombs on Erfurter Maschinenfabrik and not much left. What was left then was in the Soviet occupation zone, and the head of this, Marshal Zhukov, decided that it has to be removed completely. Rudolf Geipel somehow managed to get what we know his Persilschein. That means he was after some time not considered as a Nazi. He was actually a quite active Nazi, but he could make the others believe that he was not. And he moved to Bavaria and he opened a new company in Dachau between 1942 and in 1952 he then acquired the area where his new factory was built. His son Rudolf Geipel became the main engineer, and they started to produce parts for guns which were gifted from the Allied forces to the German police. So all types of carbines and whatever the Allied forces gave to the German police or the German customs, they produced at least spare parts for this. And in 1955 we got the permission to develop and produce a new submachine gun, which actually was intended to be used by the German Bundeswehr, but for other reasons the Deutsche Bundeswehr bought the Israeli Uzi, probably the better choice, and for ERMA this was almost fatal. In 1949 the Allied forces, or actually the Americans, handed over about 19,000 US M1 carbines to be used by the German police and the custom office. And in 1956 or between 1950 and 1963 we provided another 35,000 for the Bundeswehr. So the 30 M1 carbine was quite heavily used. 30,000 plus 20,000 is 50,000. This is quite an amount. And there was the idea, like the Germans did before, to build a cadet rifle. So one which is not that expensive and not heavy recoil, and the ammunition doesn't cost that much. So they built a clone of the 30 M1 in 22 long rifle. There is actually also a version in 22 Magnum, to 22 Winchester Magnum rimfire, but I never seen one of them. Actually the German army never used the 30 M1 as a cadet rifle, but the Austrian Gendarmerie, so the Austrian police, did this. They received about 10,000 M1 carbines from the US forces between 1955 and 57, and that is why the Austrian police used the 30 M1 as a cadet rifle. So this is really a cadet rifle. Then what happened to ERMA after this? In 1961 the company Fiberglide bought ERMA, and the Geipel father and son left the company. Then ERMA started also trading their stuff on the US market. I think you see here, zoom, advertisement for this 22 ERMA rifle. And see, at the time it was less than $80. However, the whole thing did not work out that well, and in the mid-90s they had real trouble, and in 1997 they went bankrupt. In 1989 Sooner Jagd and Sportwaffen Limited bought what's left of ERMA, and they closed the factory in Bavaria, and in 2003 Heckler & Koch bought whatever was left of this. So the company ERMA does not exist anymore. And now we can have a closer look at the rifle. I hope you can read what's written there. Model EM122 ERMA Werke, made in Germany. There are also some marks on this. The first one is, where my thumb is, this is for German Nitro. The last one is in 78, so it's probably from the year 78. And in the middle one I cannot recognize, it looks like Bavaria, so that it was proved in test fired in Bavaria. But I cannot show it for sure, it's so small that I can hardly see it. You see, the normal sight is an diopter sight on an 11mm rail or dovetail, quite nice, and a normal front sight post. What is right now inserted is a 15 round magazine, and it's also available a 10 round magazine and a 5 round magazine. As of now, the magazines are almost as expensive as the rifle, so I had to buy a few magazines because I wanted to compete in a match which is called Cabin Fever Challenge, organized by riflechair.com. So if you are interested in, go to the webpage riflechair.com and then you can see the details. And I needed more than one magazine, so I had to buy them. And with these magazines I can also shortly explain some of the oddities of the Swiss gun law. Luckily this is a 22 rimfire and the rule does not apply there, but for everything which does not have rimfire cartridges, the magazine actually decides what kind of permission you need. For the 5 and the 10 round magazine you need a normal gun permit. As long or as soon as you can get more than 10 rounds in the magazine, you need an exceptional permit. So this is a different kind of permission with different requirements. So the magazine decides whether this is a prohibited item which requires a special permission, or it is a normal gun which you can buy with a normal gun permit. If you buy this gun with normal magazines and you buy this magazine later, you can actually not buy it at any dealer in Switzerland without the special permit. And if you buy one in Germany or abroad and bring it to Switzerland, this magazine will turn your rifle into an illegal item, and then you are in big trouble. So here the magazine decides whether this is a normal rifle or a prohibited item. Luckily they excluded the 22 rimfires from this rule, so I can have these magazines without any problem. But if this would be an original 30M1 with different magazine sizes, this could not happen. So, I open it now, so it's just fall back, it's very easy to load. It has a safety here, the magazine releases here. It's very simple to operate. Then I think we should go shooting with this rifle. In a moment you will see me doing so. And I shoot one with the normal aperture sight. See, this is nicely adjustable in vintage with this screw here on the side. The elevation you have to adjust by putting this notch plate up and down this ramp. So it's about 50 meters to 200 meters. You can adjust the front side post. You cannot adjust nothing there. So I use the normal diopter, and the other shooting I do with this Steiner scope. And why I use this Steiner scope? Yeah, because I have it. That's the obvious reason. And it's very easily to mount on this rifle. So, enjoy seeing me shooting. Be back soon. So, I will shoot 10 rounds with the 30 M1 with the Steiner 3 times magnification. So I hope you can see it. We really have a nice group. It's all a little bit to the right. Yeah? Number 1 and number 2 are a little bit out. While the other one, look, side maybe 2 centimeters, less than an inch, and up is maybe 5 centimeters, 2 inches. Not bad. So I remove the scope and put the normal diopter rear side, aperture side. We will see what we get. Let's have a look, and you see it's almost the same as with the scope, but here it's about 5 centimeters wide and about 2 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters high, and yeah, maybe 5 and 7 you can consider flyers. But it looks pretty good and not worse than with the scope. So probably most of you did fast forward that you don't see my embarrassing shooting. The rifle is actually, for the price, it shoots exceptionally good. Most of the stuff ERMA produced, I saw Winchester, so lever action copies from ERMA of very low quality. They also made pistols, so 22 rimfire copies of the P08, the Parabellum pistol, and of the P38, and they are really cheaply made. They look cheap, they don't look nice, and they also shoot very poor. This one is an exception, so this looks really nice. It has, I would not say high quality wood, but at least doesn't look too ugly. So for ERMA, for this price, you cannot complain. This is a really nice value for money package. Then I actually wanted to disassemble the rifle for you, and of course you can find manuals in the net when you look for them, and I've got one here. And disassembling the rifle should be quite easy. You remove this screw, then you remove this screw. You can lift the whole thing out and you can remove the upper handguard. And then the manual says, will you focus? There's actually a pin and a screw, number 4 and number 5, which you should take out. And when you did this take out, you can lift this. You can lift this block, and then you can pull out actually all the other things. So the problem is, when I had a look at my gun, there's only one. So there is not a pin and a screw. There's only a pin, and it cannot be pushed from other side. So apparently my gun is different from this ERMA M1 manual, which is in the net. And that's why I do not disassemble it, because actually I do not know how to do it until this part. But in principle then, when you remove this, you should be able to lift this up and remove all these things back out. Maybe you have an idea. If you know something, if I find the link again, I will put it down in the description. But I cannot disassemble the gun because I actually don't know how to do it. So, there we are almost at the end. If you are interested in the Cabin Fever Challenge, please head over to rifleshare.com. There you find the rules. For this year it's over, but next year you can participate. And all you need is a 22 long rifle, 50 meter range, and at least 4 magazines. So, that's all for the day. See you at the range, and bye bye.